Hi, hello, I'm Sam Harrison. I read, review and discuss fantasy and science fiction books. And today we are filming, discussing the weekly recap and for the week ending the 4th of October. So first week of October, Self-Pub September is officially over now. But I am still reading self-pub books. So what we're going to be talking about today is the books that I have read this week, the books that I'm going to be reading next week, and then on top of that, the videos I've made this week, videos I'm making next week, any other stuff that comes to mind towards the end of the video. So first off, what have I been reading this week? Well, I have hit the 70% mark in Return to Edan. I've been reading this one quite slowly. Every single chapter to me is like, they're quite long, so you know I'm not a huge long chapters fan. However, I'm okay with it here because it's the final book in a trilogy and I'm already bought in. However, the thing that I would say is each chapter, I kind of feel like I need to digest a bit when I finish it, because there's lots of really interesting stuff going on, some big thematic stuff, a lot of Messiah stuff, which I guess I kind of wasn't expecting. Honestly, this entire book, even though I was told it was experimental, I really wasn't expecting what's been in it. I've actually, weirdly, even though I own this physical copy, and this is one of the only physical copies for books that I own that I'm going to be reading in the near future, I have been reading it almost entirely on Kindle while rocking a baby to sleep. So yeah, I've been reading probably 1 to 2 chapters a day. I've got a bit of time today. I might do a bit of a binge read, and I read last night when I wouldn't normally get to read on Thursday nights because that's when we watch Agatha, the new Marvel show. But we didn't get around to Agatha last night, so ended up reading instead. But yeah, that's how I'm at the 70% mark, and I do believe that I will speed up a little bit as we come towards the conclusion of the book. I know I've talked about this before, but I'm a huge fan of this one. Unless Philip absolutely fluffs it in the final 30%, I would imagine this will be on my top 10 for the year. I'll be interested. I might have to limit my top 10 to only one Wheel of Time book, because obviously I'll have read like 11 by the end of the year. I kind of, honestly, cross your fingers, 12, because it would be nice to kind of try and get back to that having read one a month cadence, even if Matt and I aren't able to do our spoiler chats as frequently as one a month, because, you know, time, we've both got kids, life, and Matt has been on vacation and I've been on vacation. Holiday, I should be saying holiday, that's the British word. Vacation is an American term. I mean, we use it, but it's not. Anyway, so yeah, I'm shifting around my plans for stuff to read next. So, as you guys know, I like to go fantasy, sci-fi. The sci-fi can shift a little bit. So sometimes the sci-fi book that I want to read, or I choose instead of a sci-fi book, I'll choose to read something like urban fantasy or horror, but this time the sci-fi book that I'm going to read after Return to Edan. So I had been planning all month to read Dirge for Cascius, but I think I just need something a bit shorter after Return to Edan, because it's 700 pages and I've been looking for something that's, you know, in the like 200-300 page range, and I realised that I do still own Orbital by Samantha Harvey, so that's going to be my next read. Barry is trying to scratch to get out of the office, but there's a sleeping baby next door, so he's not allowed. Barry, would you like to come and sit up here? Come sit up here, you can be in the video. Hi, bud. So, yeah, I was going to read Dirge for Cascius, but I just think that I need a little bit of a break from big books because I'm about to read Wheel of Time as well. So the next book that I'm going to read is going to be Orbital by Samantha Harvey. I'm also planning on reading Death Tax by Andrew Givler, which is the just released 4th book in the Debt collection. So I've got the audio book for that one. So probably going to read Death Tax. I don't know. I actually don't know when I'll get to reading that one, I have to say. I planned to read, I may end up reading that when I have audiobook time while I'm still reading Return to Edan, and then maybe it'll cross over a bit into Orbital. But I pre-ordered it because I loved the first 3 books, so I was like, I'm just going to pre-order the 4th one on Audible. It costs a credit, I have credits, but now I kind of want to put it at the top of the queue, even though it hasn't earned it is the wrong term. It's earned it by being a great series, but it is just released, and I've got a lot of older books that I haven't read, but you know what my life is like. So yeah, I've got those 3 books kind of on the bubble, so I don't think I'm going to read Orbital until I finish Return to Edan, but I might start Death Tax today. After both of those, I will be reading Path of Daggers, which is book 9 in the Wheel of Time. I've already purchased the ebook, audiobook, and physical book for that one, so I am all set. I will probably, because it's been a couple of months since I've read A Wheel of Time, I'll probably end up sight reading a decent chunk of it and then switching to the audiobook, because I always had the audiobook as like my backup preference for reading. So like, because I was so distractible when listening to audiobooks, I tended to have them as I'm doing something which is very monotonous and occupying my hands or whatever, so I'm just gonna put an audiobook on. But then the preference would always be to sit down and read my book. But over the last few months, I feel like I've gotten a lot better at listening to and taking in the information from audiobooks, even sometimes while I'm doing something else, like playing a phone game or doing some like admin for work or whatever. So I've been listening to a lot more audiobooks. And I think for A Crown of Swords, I genuinely think for Crown of Swords I might have been more than 50% audio, which would be the first time ever for a massive book like that. Who knows how I will read Path of Daggers. It is a very small book, so it'd be nice to just pick up the physical. I have enjoyed reading the physical for Return to Edan when I've had the time to sit down with it. However, who knows? I do have Kindle, I've got all that sort of jazz, so yeah, Path of Daggers next. After Path of Daggers, I have got 3 books that are on the possibility line. I know I've mentioned to you guys before that October was going to be subscriber decides my reading for October, but I kind of thinking around it, I've got a lot of leftover stuff from September. I have to read October's Wheel of Time book. Honestly, we're 4 days in and I've got 2 Wheel of Time books to read this month. I've got Return to Edan to finish. I've got at least 1 sci-fi novel to read if I want to back-to-back Wheel of Time books, which I maybe don't. So I think we're going to end up having to push that experiment to November. However, that does give you guys more time to submit books. My original plan was to do it in October. Then my plan shifted to do it for a month. And it could still be do it for a month if I finish those Wheel of Time books really quickly. So I will let you guys know when I'm planning on starting. I'll do a big video, I'll spin the wheel and pick some books at random. So I'm going to ideally get, in a real ideal world, I would actually get the 10th Wheel of Time book and New Spring read, because I was planning, not 10th Wheel of Time book. Yeah, because we're a month behind, me and Matt. We're now 2 months behind, actually, because I didn't read one in September. I didn't read one in June, I think, because of baby. So if you're thinking about that, I've got to catch up with Wheel of Time if I wanted to get to the roughly one a month with New Spring Red in the same month, or maybe New Spring Red the month after, actually. So I don't know which one I have to read. So it might be, I think next book is 8. So it's currently October. So I would need to read 8, 9, 10 to get up to date. Maybe that is like the entire slog. Maybe I could read the entire slog in one binge. That would be madness, I think, but it could be fun. If you'd like to watch me go through that, then please let me know. Next up, so yeah, the other options for between books, so non-fantasy for October, I've got Dirge for Caskia still, so I would still like to read that. I'm not going to just put it aside because it's not Self-Pub September anymore. I would still like to read it. We also have Authority by Jeff Vandermeer, which is the second Area X book. It would be nice to read that one with the 4th book coming out soon. Kingdoms of Death by Christopher Rocchio, which is the 4th Sun Eater book. That'll either be soon-ish or like January, February next year, but it's going to get read in the next 3-4 months, I think. Then House of Last Resort by Christopher Golden, which is a horror, which might be good to read in October. I'm also thinking about getting the Broken Bindings Halloween box, just to have something fun to read around Halloween time. If anyone else is planning on getting that box, let me know. Maybe we can do like a channel buddy read for the Broken Binding Halloween box. After that, don't know. So that's kind of my rough reading plans for like the next few weeks. It's going to be a lot of Wheel of Time. So if you're not into Wheel of Time, I'm sorry, but I will talk about other books in the meantime. After that, videos wise. So this week videos were really good on the channel. I'm really proud of the stuff that I put up. Despite not a huge amount of views, I do think all of the videos are really good. So Monday, I reviewed 3 separate novellas. Tuesday, I did the Crown of Swords spoiler chat with Matt. I always have so much fun talking Wheel of Time with Matt. It's funny that we just kind of decided to do it on a whim, and now it's one of the best parts about reading every book for me. I just really enjoy chatting to him about Wheel of Time, about everything. I'm really looking forward to doing Malazan together afterwards when we finish Wheel of Time. If he still wants to do that, I'm gonna always be up for it. But if Matt wants a break, he can have a break from me. That's fine. Then I did my September wrap up, so wrapping up the Self-Pub September stuff. I actually managed to get a lot of reading done last month, and most of that was because I was just loving the deck collection on audio. Then I did a Wandering In video, and then today's video. Next week, I'm going to be doing the October mini TBR, where I will go through my options for books for October until I'm ready to start the challenge. I'll then do a review. So the review actually will be on Monday. The review is probably going to be Dandelion Audit. I think that's the next one that I have to review. And then after that, I hope you guys are excited about this. I am going to be doing a reaction video to another booktuber's top 10. So I'm going to watch someone else's top 10 video, and then I'm going to tell you my thoughts on all the books that they picked, and then I'm going to reorder it in my personal preference, including books that I haven't read. So hopefully that will be fun. I don't know which booktuber I'm going to pick. Maybe I'll go with a buddy like Philip Chase or Andrew Watson. Both of those would be quite fun to do, I think. So if you're interested in that, please do keep an eye on the channel. And if you've got any other booktubers that you want me to react to their top 10s, then please put them down in the comments down below, and I will definitely do that. Next up, okay, that's it. We'll also have a Wandering In video, and then Friday there'll be the usual wrap up. The one other thing I want to talk to you guys about is video games. I don't know how many gamers we have in the audience, but if you have an iPad, if you have an iPhone, if you have an Android phone, Balatro is now available for your device. Balatro is my game of the year. I've not played a game better than Balatro in an extremely long time. It is a card-based roguelike, but you don't need to know anything about card games or roguelikes when you start playing the game. It's really good at teaching you. And if you want to talk more about Balatro, please do so in the comments, because I love Balatro. I've been spending a lot of time playing Balatro, which may be why Return to Edan isn't finished yet. But it's a genuinely fantastic game. Absolute 10 out of 10, no regrets. I would buy this game on every system that it's available on. It's actually on Apple Arcade as well, so if you have Apple Arcade, it's free to try. On top of that, the new Starfield expansion came out. I haven't played it, I have installed it, so looking forward to getting some time with that one. I think that that's actually everything for this week. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. I hope you guys have had a nice week. Please let me know what you've been reading, what you've been watching, what you've been playing, etc. And I will speak to you on Monday. Thanks for watching. Bye.